Ladies and gentlemen, good day. What if the very things you do every single day are secretly stealing years from your life? We're not talking about extreme risks, but the seemingly innocent habits ingrained in your routine. Prepare to discover the hidden enemies lurking in your daily life, certainly eroding your health and sabotaging your longevity. Longevity is something we all desire, but the sad reality is that many people are unknowingly sabotaging their own health every single day through ordinary habits. These habits feel harmless, even normal, but over time they quietly rob you of energy, strength, and years of life. It is not always the big choices that shorten your lifespan, but the little daily routines that slowly wear your body down until it cannot fight back. If you want to live long, vibrant, and healthy, you must become aware of the hidden enemies around you. One of the most dangerous enemies is the habit of sitting too much. In our modern world, work, entertainment, and even social connection often keep us glued to a chair. People spend hours at a desk, behind the wheel, or on the couch, thinking they are being productive or simply relaxing. But the truth is that prolonged sitting slows down your metabolism, weakens your muscles, and increases the risk of diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. It is said that sitting is the new smoking, and there is truth to that. Your body is designed to move, and every hour of stillness is like a tax on your health. Even short breaks to stand up, stretch, or walk around can make a powerful difference over the years. Movement is not optional, it is a form of medicine. Another hidden enemy of longevity is ignoring the value of sleep. Many people treat sleep as wasted time or believe they can catch up later, but the body does not work that way. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, your brain organizes memories, and your hormones rebalance. Without it, your risk of high blood pressure, obesity, depression, and even Alzheimer's disease climbs sharply. In fact, chronic lack of sleep is one of the fastest ways to age your body. Sleep is not laziness, it is recovery. Treat it like the foundation of your health. If you want to live longer, you must protect your rest with the same seriousness as your work. Then there is the trap of processed food. Convenience has replaced nourishment in most modern diets, and the result is devastating. Sugary drinks, packaged snacks, fast food, and foods loaded with preservatives fill shelves and dinner tables. But what they really do is fill the body with chemicals and inflammation. Every bite of processed food is like an attack on your cells, disrupting your hormones and accelerating disease. Real longevity is built on real food, fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Think of your plate as your daily pharmacy. Each meal is either fighting disease or feeding it, and your choices decide the outcome. Stress is another enemy most people underestimate. It is often invisible but very real, slowly damaging your body from the inside out. Chronic stress keeps your cortisol levels high, raises your blood pressure, weakens your immune system, and makes you vulnerable to countless illnesses. Stress literally speeds up the aging process. While you cannot avoid all difficulties in life, you can control how you respond. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, prayer, or spending time in nature lower stress and restore balance. Protecting your mental peace is not a luxury, it is survival. We also cannot ignore the role of relationships. Research shows that loneliness is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Human beings are social creatures, and a lack of meaningful connection erodes both health and happiness. People who maintain close friendships and loving family bonds not only live longer, but live with more joy. Connection gives you strength, purpose, and resilience. So call your friends, hug your loved ones, and laugh as often as you can. Longevity is not just measured in years, but in the quality of human connection you experience. Lastly, life without purpose is one of the most destructive enemies of all. A person without meaning feels empty, and that emptiness drains vitality. Purpose gives you a reason to rise each morning, to face challenges, and to continue growing. It does not have to be a grand mission. It could be serving your family, pursuing a passion, or helping others, but it must exist. People with a strong sense of purpose live longer and stay healthier. Purpose is fuel for the body and medicine for the soul. The truth is, longevity is not a secret formula locked in a pill or hidden in a hospital. It is in your daily choices. By moving more, resting deeply, eating real food, managing stress, nurturing relationships, and living with purpose, you protect yourself against the silent killers hiding in your routines. You do not want just more years in your life, you want more life in your years. Start today by breaking free from these hidden enemies, and your future self will thank you with strength, energy, and a longer, fuller life. Sitting has become the silent enemy of modern life, and many people have no idea how dangerous it truly is. We live in a world where almost everything can be done from a chair, working at a desk, driving a car, eating meals, watching television, scrolling on a phone, or even socializing online. Hours pass without a single step taken, and we think nothing of it because it feels so normal. But here's the shocking truth: the body was never designed for this kind of stillness. Human beings are built to move, to bend, to stretch, to walk, and to be active. When you chain yourself to a chair for long periods, you are not just resting, you are harming your health in ways you cannot see until it is too late. That is why health experts say sitting is the new smoking. It slowly, silently, and dangerously eats away at your health and longevity. When you sit for hours without moving, your metabolism slows down. This means your body burns fewer calories, your blood sugar rises, and fat begins to accumulate. Over time, this contributes to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. It does not matter if you exercise for an hour in the morning. If the rest of your day is spent in a chair, your risk remains high. Movement is not just about working out. It is about breaking up the long chains of stillness that suffocate your body. Even short bursts of activity throughout the day make a difference. Something as simple as standing up every 30 minutes, walking across the room, or stretching can reset your circulation and remind your body it is alive. Sitting also weakens the muscles that keep you strong and mobile. Your glutes, your core, and even your back slowly waste away because they are not being used. Weak muscles lead to poor posture, back pain, and stiffness. Over time, this makes you less active, less flexible, and more vulnerable to injury. Think of your body as a machine. A machine that is never used becomes rusty, slow, and fragile. The same happens to your muscles and joints when you spend most of your day sitting. You might not notice it at first, but slowly your energy declines, your strength disappears, and everyday tasks become harder than they should be. The dangers of sitting also extend to your circulation. Sitting for long periods reduces blood flow, especially in your legs, which can cause swelling, varicose veins, and even dangerous blood clots. Your heart is forced to work harder while your body does less, and this imbalance leads to cardiovascular problems that shorten your life. Studies have shown that people who sit for more than 8 hours a day with little physical activity face a risk of dying similar to that of smokers. Imagine that doing nothing can be just as deadly as inhaling toxins. That is the hidden power of inactivity. But the problem is not just physical, it is also mental. Long hours of sitting often mean long hours of staring at a screen. This constant exposure to digital devices strains your eyes, overloads your brain, and reduces your focus. It creates fatigue, anxiety, and even depression. Humans were not meant to live indoors, slouched in front of glowing screens all day. We are wired to move, to explore, to be in the sunlight, and to breathe fresh air. The more we disconnect from natural movement, the more our minds suffer. The good news is that you can fight back. You do not have to accept sitting as your silent killer. You can choose to stand up more often, take the stairs instead of the elevator, walk during phone calls, or do simple stretches at your desk. Small actions, repeated daily, build into powerful habits that protect your health. Investing in a standing desk, setting reminders to move, or simply making it a rule never to sit longer than an hour without standing can transform your body over time. Sitting may be the new smoking, but unlike smoking, the cure is simple. All it takes is movement. Your body craves it, your muscles depend on it, and your heart thrives on it. Do not wait until pain, fatigue, or disease forces you to change. Break the chains of your chair today. Stand up, move, and let your body feel alive again. If you want longevity, energy, and health, remember this one simple truth. Movement is not optional, it is your lifeline. Sleep is one of the most powerful yet underestimated tools for health and longevity. In today's fast paced world, many people see sleep as an inconvenience, something that gets in the way of productivity, success, or entertainment. People brag about surviving on 4 or 5 hours of rest, wearing exhaustion like a badge of honor, as if being constantly tired is a sign of strength. But the truth is the opposite. Ignoring sleep is like taking a slow poison. You may not feel the damage right away, but every night of poor rest chips away at your body's ability to repair, recover, and protect itself. Over time, this becomes one of the deadliest habits that shortens your life. When you sleep, your body is not wasting time. It is performing some of the most essential functions needed for survival. Your cells repair themselves, your muscles rebuild, and your immune system strengthens. Sleep is also when your brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and clears out waste products that build up during the day. One of those waste products is a protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. Without proper sleep, this toxic buildup stays in the brain, increasing the risk of dementia later in life. So, when you cut your sleep short, you are not just robbing yourself of energy the next day, you are planting the seeds for serious diseases years down the road. Ignoring sleep also wreaks havoc on your hormones. A lack of rest disrupts insulin regulation, which controls your blood sugar levels. This makes you more prone to weight gain, diabetes, and heart problems. At the same time, poor sleep raises levels of the stress hormone cortisol, which keeps your body in a constant state of tension. Cortisol also breaks down muscle tissue, increases belly fat, and weakens your immune system. In contrast, when you sleep well, your body releases growth hormone, which supports repair, regeneration, and even healthy aging. In other words, good sleep acts like a fountain of youth, while bad sleep accelerates the aging process. The impact of ignoring sleep is also clear in your daily performance. Without rest, your brain is foggy, your reaction times are slower, and your ability to focus collapses. Studies show that driving while sleep deprived can be just as dangerous as driving drunk. Poor sleep also makes you more irritable, more anxious, and less capable of handling stress. Over time, this contributes to depression and other mental health struggles. Think about it, how many arguments, mistakes, or regrets in life could have been avoided with a clear, well-rested mind. Your cardiovascular system also suffers when you cut corners on sleep. Blood pressure stays elevated, inflammation increases, and the risk of heart disease rises sharply. Even one night of poor sleep can affect your heart the next day. Imagine the damage done when this becomes a chronic pattern for months or years. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the maintenance schedule for your heart, brain, and every organ in your body. Ignoring it is like never servicing your car and expecting it to run smoothly forever. The good news is that improving your sleep is often within your control. Start by respecting it as a non-negotiable part of your routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends, to regulate your body's clock. Create a sleep environment that is dark, cool, and quiet. Put away screens at least an hour before bed, because the blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime, as they interfere with the quality of rest. And most importantly, treat sleep as sacred. Protect it the same way you would protect your money or your health, because without it, everything else falls apart. Sleep is not lost time. It is a powerful investment. Every hour of quality rest pays you back in energy, focus, emotional stability, and resilience. More importantly, it adds years to your life. Ignoring sleep is one of the hidden enemies of longevity, but the solution is within your reach. Do not wait until exhaustion breaks you down, or illness forces you to slow down. Choose to honor your body's need for rest now. If you want to live long, live strong, and enjoy every day with vitality, then understand this: sleep is not optional. Sleep is survival. Processed food has become one of the greatest enemies of modern health and longevity. In the past, food was simple, grown in the ground, raised on farms, cooked at home, and eaten fresh. Today, shelves are lined with boxes, bags, and cans filled with products that barely resemble real food. They are engineered to be convenient, cheap, and addictive. But inside, they are loaded with chemicals, preservatives, and artificial flavors. At first glance, they seem harmless, a snack here, a quick meal there. But over time, processed food becomes a slow-acting toxin, draining your energy, damaging your organs, and increasing the risk of chronic disease. What feels like a shortcut for busy living is actually a trap, one that silently robs you of health and years of life. The first danger of processed food is the sheer amount of added sugar. Sodas, candies, pastries, cereals, and even foods marketed as healthy often contain shocking amounts of sugar hidden behind labels. These sugars spike your blood glucose, forcing your body to release large amounts of insulin. Over time, this constant flood leads to insulin resistance, paving the way for type 2 diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. But the danger doesn't end there. Excess sugar also feeds inflammation throughout the body, weakening your immune system and damaging your cells. It accelerates aging, harms your skin, and increases the risk of cancer. Every sip of soda or bite of processed dessert is not just empty calories, it is a direct attack on your longevity. Equally harmful are the unhealthy fats used in processed foods. To make snacks and fast food last longer on the shelf, manufacturers often use hydrogenated oils and trans fats. These artificial fats raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and clog your arteries. They contribute to strokes, heart attacks, and long-term cardiovascular damage. Even foods that claim to be low-fat are often loaded with refined carbohydrates and additives to replace the flavor that natural fat would provide. The result is food that tricks your taste buds but harms your body. Real fats, like those in avocados, nuts, olive oil, and fish, heal and protect your heart. Artificial fats slowly destroy it. Processed foods are also designed to be addictive. Manufacturers carefully combine salt, sugar, and fat in perfect ratios that light up the brain's pleasure centers, much like drugs do. That is why it is so easy to eat an entire bag of chips or finish a large pizza without even realizing it. You are not weak. It is by design. These foods hijack your brain chemistry, making you crave more even when your body doesn't need it. This endless cycle of craving and consumption not only makes you gain weight, but also keeps you stuck in unhealthy patterns that feel impossible to break. Another hidden danger lies in the additives and preservatives. Chemicals are added to enhance color, flavor, and shelf life, but your body was never meant to process them. Many of these substances increase inflammation, disrupt hormones, and interfere with digestion. Over time, they can contribute to allergies, gut problems, and even cancer. Your liver, the organ responsible for detoxifying your body, becomes overwhelmed by this constant chemical load. Instead of nourishing your body, processed foods exhaust it. But the consequences of processed food are not only physical, they affect your mental and emotional health as well. Diets high in processed foods are linked to depression, anxiety, and poor cognitive function. Think about how you feel after eating a heavy fast food meal, sluggish, bloated, and drained. That is because these foods do not give you real fuel. They overload you with calories but starve you of nutrients. Your brain and body run best on vitamins, minerals, and natural compounds from whole foods. When you replace them with artificial substitutes, your performance, mood, and focus suffer. The good news is that breaking free from processed food is possible. It begins with awareness. Start reading labels. And if you cannot pronounce half the ingredients, put it back on the shelf. Choose foods that are fresh, whole, and close to their natural state. Fill your plate with vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins. Cook at home more often, where you control what goes into your meals. Replace sugary drinks with water or herbal teas. Swap packaged snacks for real foods like fruit, yogurt, or raw nuts. Small changes add up, and each step away from processed food is a step toward a longer, healthier life. Processed food addiction is a hidden enemy because it feels normal. Everyone eats it, it is everywhere, and it is marketed as safe and convenient. But the truth is slowly stealing vitality and years from your life. Every time you choose real food over processed, you choose healing over harm, life over disease, and energy over exhaustion. Longevity is not about luck, it is about the choices you make every day. Do not let the trap of processed food control you. Break free, nourish your body, and give yourself the gift of health that lasts a lifetime. Stress is one of the most underestimated enemies of health and longevity. Everyone experiences it. And in small doses, it can even be helpful, pushing you to meet deadlines, solve problems, or escape danger. But the problem comes when stress becomes chronic, when it lingers in your life day after day without relief. In that state, it is no longer a motivator. It becomes a slow, silent killer. Many people underestimate the impact of stress, thinking it only affects the mind. They say, "I'm just under pressure," or "it's only in my head." But science proves otherwise. Stress does not stay in your mind. It seeps into your body, your hormones, your heart, and even your immune system, eating away at your health like a hidden poison. When your body feels stress, it triggers a natural survival mechanism often called the fight or flight response. Adrenaline and cortisol flood your bloodstream, increasing your heart rate, sharpening your senses, and preparing you to respond to danger. This is useful in short bursts, but when the body stays in this state for days, weeks, or years, it becomes damaging. High cortisol levels break down muscle tissue, promote fat storage, and weaken your immune system. Your heart beats faster than it should, your blood pressure rises, and inflammation spreads throughout the body. Over time, this increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, and autoimmune disorders. Stress is not just in your head, it physically rewires your body toward disease. One of the worst effects of chronic stress is its impact on the heart. Constant tension keeps blood vessels constricted and blood pressure elevated. This forces the heart to work harder, leading to wear and tear on the cardiovascular system. Studies have shown that people under long-term stress have a much higher chance of developing heart disease. In fact, stress is one of the strongest predictors of heart attacks, often as dangerous as smoking or obesity. A stressed heart ages faster, and without relief, the damage can become permanent. Stress also wreaks havoc on digestion. When the body is in survival mode, it slows down processes it considers non-essential, like breaking down food properly. This is why stressed people often suffer from indigestion, bloating, ulcers, or irritable bowel issues. On top of that, many people cope with stress by turning to unhealthy comfort foods, alcohol, or smoking, which only add more strain to the body. Instead of nourishing, these habits worsen the very stress that caused them, creating a destructive cycle that can last for years. Mental health suffers just as much. Chronic stress makes the brain more prone to anxiety, depression, memory problems, and poor concentration. It damages the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for learning and memory. That is why stressed people often feel foggy, forgetful, or overwhelmed. Stress also disrupts sleep, creating another vicious cycle. The less you sleep, the more stressed you feel, and the more stressed you are, the less you sleep. This cycle accelerates aging, drains energy, and leaves you feeling like a shadow of yourself. But here is the hopeful truth. While stress is powerful, your response to it is even more powerful. You may not always control the events in your life, but you can control how your body and mind handle them. Deep breathing, meditation, prayer, or simply taking time in nature can reset your nervous system and lower cortisol. Physical activity is another powerful stress reliever because exercise burns away excess stress hormones and releases endorphins that calm the mind. Even something as simple as walking outside for 15 minutes can dramatically lower stress levels. Human connection is also a natural antidote to stress. Spending time with loved ones, laughing, and sharing your burdens lightens the mental load and soothes the nervous system. In contrast, isolating yourself only magnifies the weight you carry. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is survival. Learn to say no when you need to. Learn to take breaks without guilt. Learn to disconnect from constant noise and give your mind silence. These are not luxuries, they are necessities for a long, healthy life. Stress may be invisible, but its effects are real, powerful, and deadly if left unchecked. It ages your body, weakens your heart, and clouds your mind. But when you learn to manage it through breathing, exercise, rest, and connection, you take away its power to harm you. Longevity is not just about eating right or moving your body, it is also about protecting your inner world. A calm mind creates a healthy body. If you want to live long and live well, you must make peace a priority. Stress is indeed the silent killer, but with awareness and action, it does not have to be your killer. One of the most overlooked enemies of longevity is the habit of ignoring relationships. In today's world, people often equate success with money, possessions, and achievements, but the truth is, human connection is just as vital, if not more. Research shows that loneliness and social isolation are as dangerous to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That may sound extreme, but science proves it. We are not meant to live in isolation. We are wired for connection, love, and companionship. When you deprive yourself of meaningful relationships, you weaken not only your emotional health but also your physical body, accelerating the process of aging and disease. When people ignore relationships, they often underestimate how much it costs them internally. Loneliness creates stress, and that stress raises cortisol levels, increases blood pressure, and fuels inflammation throughout the body. Over time, this damages the heart, weakens the immune system, and raises the risk of premature death. On the other hand, those who nurture close bonds, whether with family, friends, or community, enjoy longer lives, lower stress levels, and stronger resistance against illness. Relationships act like a buffer against life's challenges. When you have someone to talk to, someone to lean on, or someone who understands you, your body experiences a calming effect. That sense of belonging reduces stress hormones and promotes healing. Ignoring relationships also affects mental health in profound ways. Humans are social beings, and without genuine interaction, the brain suffers. Depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline are all more common among people who are isolated. The lack of social stimulation leaves the mind less active, less engaged, and less resilient. In contrast, meaningful conversations, laughter, and shared experiences light up the brain, keeping it sharp and healthy. Think of it as exercise for the mind. Just as your body grows stronger when you move it, your brain grows stronger when you connect with others. Unfortunately, Modern society has created an environment where ignoring relationships feels easy, even normal. People spend hours scrolling on their phones, convincing themselves they are connected while never actually speaking to another human being. Work, stress, and distractions leave little time for loved ones, and slowly bonds weaken. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, relationships that once gave you joy are gone. The hidden danger is that people often do not realize the damage until they feel completely isolated, and by then, loneliness has already taken a toll on both mind and body. But here is the truth: it is never too late to rebuild. Connection is always possible if you choose to prioritize it. Start by reaching out to someone you have lost touch with. Send a message, make a call, or better yet, meet in person. Invest time in your family, no matter how busy life gets. Share meals, share stories, and share laughter. Find communities where you belong. Whether through hobbies, faith, or volunteering, the simple act of being part of something larger than yourself gives you strength and adds meaning to your days. The beauty of relationships is that they enrich not only your life but also the lives of those around you. A smile, a kind word, or a listening ear can change someone's day, and often it will change yours too. Giving love and receiving love are two sides of the same coin, and both are essential for well-being. People who cultivate strong, positive relationships report greater happiness, higher life satisfaction, and less stress, regardless of their financial or social status. True wealth is not measured in dollars, it is measured in the quality of the relationships that surround you. Longevity is not just about how long you live, but about how well you live. A long life without connection is an empty one. When you ignore relationships, you rob yourself of one of the most powerful sources of health and joy, but when you nurture them, you give yourself protection against stress, illness, and despair. Your body thrives, your mind sharpens, and your heart feels lighter. If you want to live not just longer but better, make relationships a priority. Call your loved ones, spend time with friends, and open yourself to new connections. At the end of life, people rarely regret not working more or buying more things, but they often regret not spending more time with those they love. Do not wait for regret. Start building those bonds now, because connection is not just comfort, it is survival, it is healing, and it is the key to true longevity. Living without purpose is one of the most dangerous and hidden enemies of longevity. You can eat the healthiest foods, exercise daily, get enough sleep, and even avoid stress, but if you wake up each day with no sense of meaning, your health and life force begin to fade. Human beings are not designed to merely exist, we are built to strive, to create, to love, and to contribute. When life lacks purpose, the spirit weakens, and that weakness eventually spreads to the body. A person without a why will struggle to maintain the energy, resilience, and motivation needed to truly live, no matter how well they care for themselves physically. Purpose is not just an abstract idea, it is fuel for your soul, and without it, your longevity is cut short. Research shows that people who live with a strong sense of purpose live longer, healthier lives. They are less likely to suffer from depression, heart disease, or dementia, and they recover faster from illness. Purpose acts as a shield, protecting both the mind and body from decline. When you know why you wake up in the morning, when you feel your life matters, your body responds with vitality, your immune system strengthens, your heart works more efficiently, and your brain stays sharper. In contrast, when you drift aimlessly, living day by day without direction, your body reacts with fatigue, stress, and a slow unraveling of health. Living without purpose often leads to destructive habits. People who feel empty or unfulfilled are more likely to overeat, abuse substances, or spend endless hours in front of a screen just to escape the void they feel inside. These habits may provide temporary comfort, but in the long run, they deepen the emptiness and accelerate decline. Purpose, on the other hand, gives you a reason to care for yourself. When you know your life has value, whether for your family, your community, or your own dreams, you naturally make healthier choices. You eat better, you move more, and you push through challenges because you know your life has meaning. The absence of purpose also affects mental health profoundly. Without meaning, days feel repetitive, like you are simply going through the motions. This sense of emptiness can quickly turn into depression, anxiety, or hopelessness. Mental decline often begins with a lack of direction. But when people discover purpose, their mindset transforms. They find strength in challenges, joy in small victories, and hope even in difficult times. Purpose does not erase problems, but it gives you a reason to keep fighting. And that resilience is a key factor in living a long and fulfilling life. Purpose does not have to be grand or world changing. Too often, people think they need to accomplish extraordinary things to have meaning. But the truth is, purpose is deeply personal. It can be raising a family, serving your community, nurturing your faith, teaching others, creating art, or simply spreading kindness wherever you go. What matters is that it excites you, motivates you, and gives your days direction. Even small acts of purpose can make a profound difference. Helping a neighbor, mentoring a child, or pursuing a personal goal may seem simple, but these are the threads that weave a meaningful life. The good news is that it is never too late to find or rediscover your purpose. Some people discover it early in life, while others find it later after years of searching. What matters is that you stay open, curious, and willing to ask yourself, what gives my life meaning? What do I want to give to the world? What will I leave behind? When you explore these questions honestly, you begin to uncover the purpose that has been waiting within you. Once you find it, everything changes. Your days gain direction, your heart gains energy, and your body responds with vitality. Living without purpose is like sailing without a compass. You may stay afloat, but you will drift endlessly, never truly reaching the shore. With purpose, every day becomes an opportunity. Every challenge becomes growth, and every moment becomes valuable. If you want true longevity, you must go beyond survival and step into meaningful living. Because in the end, a long life without purpose is simply years of existence. But a life filled with purpose, no matter how many years it lasts, is a life fully lived. My friends, longevity is not found in expensive pills or secret formulas. It's built day by day in the choices you make. Break free from these hidden enemies, move more, sleep better, eat real food, calm your mind, love deeply, and live with purpose. Because the truth is, you don't just want more years in your life, you want more life in your years. Take action today. Your future self will thank you.